What up, what up, what up, people? What's good? It's me, L Teddy 27. Angry Teacher Chronicles, all that good stuff. Yeah, new background, all that good stuff. Yeah, I'm out of town. All of that stuff. Anyway, this is Love and Hip Hop Miami, Season 3, Episode 9. So let's get started. A lot happened this episode. So we start off with Chameleon and Sukiyana. They meet up at this dance studio. I guess they're practicing for this tour or whatever. They discuss not really being comfortable with Alvin being their road manager. And I immediately thought, when the fuck did this happen? Like, who decided this? Like, who sanctioned this? Alvin? Alvin? Who over there making ribs at Trick's restaurant? Whatever. So Alvin comes through after they, soon as they stop discussing him, conveniently Mona has Alvin come through there. You know, this was all staged. Alvin comes through and they discuss a booking that he has for them down at Homestead, South Miami, southern part of Miami-Dade County. So they say that basically they're just giving him this one shot, and this is basically his audition to see if he can be their road manager. He leaves. Tip Drill comes. So Tip Drill comes through after Alvin leaves, and she asks, when and how did Alvin become the road manager? Just like I did. Like, wait, Alvin. You know, when did he become the road manager? Because she was like, listen, don't say I ain't warned y'all, but fuck shit and fuckery is about to happen. That's basically what she said. Now, y'all go ahead, see how this work out, but don't say you were not warned that he's with the fuck shit. So then, she, can I tell y'all, first of all, that bitch was sickening in this orange. Stunning. She had the orange hair, this orange outfit. Woman, mama, baby doll was snatched. Doll baby, you were snatched. I was here for this look, Tip Drill. Listen, doll baby, I was here for all of it. It was good. I liked it. She was snatched. But she warned them about Alvin. And they were like, yeah, this is just his audition. We want to see what he could do. Child, Alvin finna let y'all down. Next, we see Prima Donna and Amara. They meet up to go eat. First, before we get into this, Amara never graced my television screen, computer screen, phone screen, or whatever screen you grace with whatever the fuck that blonde shit was in your head. That shit looks horrible. That shit was awful, horrible. That skin tone, that blonde hair color. First of all, it wasn't even a good blonde wig. Second of all, the makeup was all wrong to go and compliment it. Third of all, that shit looks horrible. Horrible. Don't do that shit no more, Amara. That shit was awful. Yeah, that shit was horrible. Prima Donna then kind of ambushes Amara and has her friend Annie come to talk to Amara about MJ. It was definitely an ambush because Amara had no idea. So it was a setup. Shade is being thrown back and forth between Amara and Annie, but eventually Amara, Annie gives her a warning about MJ and say, listen, watch out for yourself and be careful because he ain't got no job or he ain't gonna be able to take care of you and this, that, and the third. And I'm gonna get to more of my commentary about that in just a few shakes. And so that was that. Amara goes home and she confronts MJ with all of the stuff that Annie said to her. Now, when I watched this and the way Amara reacted, I felt like there had to be something extra that hooker Annie said to Amara that we didn't see. Because if it's just based on what we learned, based on what Annie said, that wasn't enough for Amara to come home and just basically blow up and go off for the old and the new like she did. Like, she confronted MJ with everything that Annie said. And the thing about it was she never allowed MJ to say anything. First of all, this shit was like 10 years ago. And people change in 10 years. People change in a year. But definitely in 10 years. You're not the same person today that you were 10 years ago. Everybody knows that. The other thing about it is this. If that is your boyfriend, that's your man, y'all have been together for any amount of time, you owe it to your mate to at least sit down and say, let's discuss this. Let me hear what you have to say about what she said. She didn't even allow him to discuss it. She didn't even allow to give his side. She didn't allow anything, okay? Third of all, yes, some of what she said may have been true. And notice I said some. It's always two sides. And he even tried to say that. But the thing about it is, that was 10 years ago. Things have changed. And for you to come home, for you to leave there, everything good, and, you know, y'all in good place, this, that, and the third, as far as he's concerned, then you come home and now all of a sudden you throwing him out the house and he did nothing but just was at home supporting you. And the thing about it is, I say this about relationships all of the time. Relationships are not 50-50 agreement. They're not 50-50 unions. Sometimes in a relationship, I might need you to be 80 and I need to be 20. Or you might need me to be 100 and you be 0% at that point. That's what relationships are about, giving and taking based on the needs of your mate and the person that you're with at that time. Sure, Amara may be the one that's making the lion's share of the money, but if he's supporting you, holding you down, adding to, you know, putting in when he can't, adding to, supporting you, strengthening you, this, that, and the third, then, and you haven't had a problem with it at this point, you haven't even given any inclinations that there wasn't a problem with that up to this point, and now all of a sudden you just throwing him out, that's not fair. That's not fair to him. That, to me, that's, you come off as being a fucked up ass individual if you do that. The other part about it is this. That's your mate. I think that you can't take 100% of what somebody tells you about your mate as gospel. Even if it's 95% true, it's still 5% that your partner is going to have that may be true to what they're saying too. It just all came off wrong. She over there crying, he crying, making the ugly face, this, that, and the third. It was a whole blow up and a mess. The mom was involved. Some other chick that was there with Amara, I don't know if that's her personal assistant or part of her team or whatever. It was, I felt bad for MJ at that point. I really did. I really did. I feel like there's other things going on that is influencing this. It can't solely be based on what Annie said to her, unless it's something that they're not showing us on TV and we're not privy to. But I was definitely on MJ's side on this one. Joy and Trina meet up for drinks. It seemed like it was early in the morning because Joy was like, is that got alcohol in it this early in the morning? Child, girl, child. Anyway, they talk about going to Bahamas for Trina's mom's birthday, which I think is a good thing. Shouts out to all my fellow Bahamians. All my Bahamians stand up. I'm Bahamian on both my mom and my dad's side. So shouts out to all my Bahamians out there. Y'all stand up. And most Miami, a lot of I'm not going to say most, but a lot of Miamians, a good, healthy percentage of Miamians are Native Miamians are of Bahamian descent because Bahamians actually created the city of Miami, but that's a whole nother history lesson. But anyway, shouts out to all my fellow Bahamians. Stand up. Anyway, Trina agrees to go. She wants to bring Bobby so they can have a good time. Then she talks about bringing Trick. And so Joy was like, child, I don't know about that. If Trick come, I ain't going to be able to have no fun. Be able to wear no sexy outfits. So they talk about that. Moving on. So then we have the three pettigoats, Gruff, Sukiana, Hood Bret, and Chameleon. They meet up with Bobby Light, and they're waiting for Alvin to go on this trip, to go on this down the homestead for this performance. Let me give you a lesson on Miami topography. If you're not from Miami, you have no idea where they met up at. But I looked at the background They showed the background of the plaza where they were, and then they showed across the street. I know exactly where they were. They were at that plaza that's on 27th Northwest 27th Avenue and about 159th, 160th Street. Okay? Ghetto ass, hood ass plaza. It used to be a driver's license place there some years ago. It used to have a driver's license place there some years ago. It's a little Walgreens right to the side of it. And you go a couple blocks down, you get to the 826. Okay? I know what I'm talking about. That is a hood ass fucking storefront, plaza. If anybody telling me we're going to any type of performance and to meet them there, I would have looked sideways from just where you having me meet you at. Because that's not the kind of area or kind of place, if I'm a artist and performer, that I'm going to be meeting you up so we can go somewhere and do a performance. Y'all from Miami, y'all should have knew right there. If that's what the meetup spot was, this shit is going all downhill. That shit is real hood over there in Miami Gardens. It's really over there. Well, no, that's not by the Baton Blues. The Baton Blues is a little further west, but it's over there in Miami Gardens, on the west side of Bunch Park area. Anyway, the hotel that they go. First of all, they went in a little minivan. It wasn't a minivan. It was one of those 15-passenger vans or whatever. So it wasn't a minivan. It was like one of those 15-passenger vans. Anyway, the hotel was a roach motel. That's what it was. That shit was nasty. I wouldn't have stayed there, okay? Chameleon and Sukiana are not here for it. They were like, listen, I'm about to call Uber and going back home. That would have been an expensive-ass Uber ride because Homestead is way down south. In order to get back to the north end, they was going to spend at least $100 on an Uber or Lyft. So I think they probably rethought that. That's how I knew they weren't going to catch no Uber or Lyft. Anyway, Hood Bret says that they should just, get dressed. Don't take a shower because that shower was dirty as hell. They had bed bugs and all. You ain't got to sleep on the bed, but just use the room, get dressed, go perform, and then they can handle all of this stuff with Alvin and this messed up ass hotel on the aftermath. But be professional and just get dressed, go do the performance, and then they can discuss everything afterwards. But child Sukiana and Chameleon wasn't feeling it. MJ then goes to meet up with Shay at her house. And they talk about what happened between him and Amara. Shay basically listened to him and told him, listen, if you willing to fight for it, then go fight for your woman. But if she loves you like she says, then she's willing to fight for it too. And I kind of agree with that a little bit. Like, it can't be one person doing everything to keep it alive and the other person not doing anything. Or not even wanting to keep it together. But it is what it is. So then we at the performance. They down at the OK Saloon. First of all, I think it was Last Chance Saloon, but whatever. You should have known, Alvin. First of all, when this promoter told you where it was at, you didn't Google the place to see where it was? You didn't Google to see what type of establishment this was? You didn't drive down yourself to go see where it was, to kind of see so that you can give your performance an idea of where and how the setup would be? You don't know anything? Your first time seeing it is their first time seeing it? That's the wrong fucking answer. If you're going to be the road manager. Second of all, black people do not go to establishments called saloons. We don't go to places that are saloons. We might go to a bar, but we might go to the club. But we ain't going to no saloon. No, ma'am. No, God. Now, about the show, it was a bunch of white people. Now, I would venture to guess that while these white people, I feel like the white people, once they got to the performances, and we'll get there in a second, looked at this like it was some type of comedic show. It wasn't, to me, taken seriously. So, it was like, I hate to go this far, but it kind of gave me when you go to the carnival and you see the little man who has the little monkey that has the little symbols and the little monkey is performing for you, and you look at the monkey and you give the man money because the monkey can perform. That's kind of what it felt like the white people were doing. It was a lot of patronization going on. There was a lot of patronizing going on. So, but I'm gonna say this. So, Suki and Chameleon did come, but they came late. I mean, it was a trailer trash saloon. It was a trailer trash saloon. Hood Bret and Chameleon said, you know what? You booked it. We got our money. We gonna perform. They did get their money, so that was a good thing. They performed. Out of the three, and Sukiyama did eventually acquiesce and perform after the people started, calling her name, calling her name, calling her name. Out of the three of them, Chameleon seemed to be the most polished. She was the one who came out there to me and said, okay, I'm the one who's the most ready to get on stage and go on tour for real. Hood Bret seemed a little like not ready for the stage and the big lights. Sukiyama was way too unprofessional for me. This whore comes straight up out the hood, but you would think this whore grew up with a silver spoon in her mouth the way she was complaining. But whatever, Sukiyama. Nobody buys you anyway. But to me, Chameleon was the one who, to me, said, I'm going to perform no matter who I'm performing for. And she did her thing like she would have did it if it was 1 million people or 0 people. Like I said, Hood Bret seemed to be a little nervous. Sukiyama was just very unprofessional. And basically, they got through it, made the best of it. And then at the end, they were like, Alvin, you fired. Bobby was their hype man, the MC or whatever. He came out there just as gay as the day is long. But and they got through it. They got paid. But they basically said, we can't work with you, Alvin. And that was the whole episode. So Tip Drill warned them about Alvin. It was a mess. But to me, out of the three of them, only Chameleon is ready to go on tour. That's it. That was the episode. Until next time, we'll be back next week. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Let's argue about what we saw. That's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely.